Yeah, man. Geez, welcome everybody to the Ignorant Oos podcast. I'm your host, Creative Taro. I'm really excited about tonight's guest because I've been wanting to talk to the man for a while. We've been trying to tee it up. Life happens and we've got to do things and take care of families. So we've finally been able to sit down and have this talk and chop it up. But I want to throw it over to the bro to introduce himself. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, G? What's up, everyone? So quick introduction. For those who don't know me, my name's Naki. I'm 26 years old, currently living in Wellington, born and raised. I'm from a small island called Tokelau, which is located not too far from Samoa. And yeah, that's me, bro.
Me, my G. And your page, brother, what page are you running on IG?
Yeah, so the page I'm running, bro, is YTMB, Young, Thrifted, and Broke.
And you got the kids page too, eh?
Yeah, and the kids page as well. I thought I'd like separate it because I don't know, it just makes it easier in terms of like trying to make it customer centric, you know.
That's cool. I suppose too, because like there's a big there's a huge market for kids stuff, eh?
Yeah. Well, the whole reason why I got into it was because I've got 3 young kids, bro. The oldest is 6, our middle girl is 4, and then our youngest is 2.
Busy man. Like, bro, busy man.
Busy man. But like, yeah, and saying that, bro, those kids go flying through clothes.
Yeah.
So, you know, they got to a point where like our oldest, like he was growing out of his stuff. You know, generally you hand stuff down. Well, in our family, in our culture, I guess, you know, it's normal to hand clothes down. But yeah, bro, we just ended up having way too much clothes, and I think that's where it came from, bro. It was just like, wow, we might as well just sell these. Like, they're good clothes, man.
That's pretty cool. Like, and then so is that the start of everything that came from the kids stuff?
Nah, just for the kids page, bro. Okay. The whole YTMB. If I look back, bro, like to me, it didn't even mean anything, eh? Like at the time. I don't know if I would say it was like a joke, but it was just like, oh, I didn't think anything of it when I first started, bro. Hence the name. I was like, because you know, old homebrew and stuff. The YGB, Young, Gifted, and Broke. So it was just like a spin-off from there. And that is it all good if I just tell the backstory now, bro?
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Yeah, so this was like 2018. And at that time I was full-time barbering, bro. And I just found out my missus was pregnant and she was living out in Porirua at the time. So yeah, I'm from the hut, lower hut, and then my missus is from Porirua, but now we're staying out here in the hut. So we were split up while she was carrying, and it was hard for me because I wanted to make sure that I was present, like, you know, during the whole pregnancy phase. And so I was like, bro, when I think about it, I was pretty much in my dream job, like being a barber. And I just left, bro. I was just straight up left. And to this day, I'm like, fuck, what the hell? Like, you know, a lot of people out there, they're like striving to live out their dreams, I guess. And bro, I was pretty much doing that, but I still felt like I had more to give. So yeah, during that time, bro, I was doing a lot of op shopping. I wasn't working, bro, so I think that's why I was doing a lot of op shopping. I just left, bro. I quit my job. I didn't have any plans. I was just, you know, I was kind of like figuring things out, I guess. And yeah, I was just doing a lot of op shopping. during that time. I found that quite therapeutic, to be honest. I think that's what kind of took me back. And even to this day, I still find it therapeutic. It's like a little getaway for me, kind of like a treasure hunt. I don't know. But I was doing a lot of op shopping, and I was just finding like good shit, man. I don't know how else to put it. I was just finding good shit, and I knew, like, I think that was like just my hustle mentality, bro. I knew that there was money in that. I was thinking like, fuck, if I buy this for $20, then I can sell it for 40. Like, that was just my thoughts, man. Like, straight away. Like, it wasn't profit wise, it wouldn't have been much, but it was still profit. Like, that was the mentality I was in. And it just kind of sparked up this, just this whole idea of creating a page, bro. Because I didn't even know it was a thing, like making a page and selling shit. But like, because this 2018, now I know. Beforehand there was a few pages that had started quite early. So full credit to those guys, man, because bloody smart people, man. I was a bit slow there, but managed to turn it into something. And today pretty much doing it full time alongside other kind of small business avenues. That's probably going on to 3 years now, bro.
Man,
Yeah,
that's dope. I love how you shared about like it wasn't intentional, like it just kind of happened, and it was like, hey, this might work. Like, I think this will work. And you just kind of rolled with it. That's dope, G. Like, that's dope.
Bro, yeah. Well, like I said, man, like, because I wasn't working, I guess in a way I was kind of forced to think like that. Like, how am I going to make money? I'm not bloody working. I was still cutting, but it was kind of like just from home, because that's what I'm doing at the moment, bro. Like, I pretty much just cut all my close people, all my boys, my family, and all my regular clients that have been coming to me, because I started cutting like 2016, so for a while now. And I always knew that was going to be a safe like source of income for me. If this didn't work out, then I know that I can always fall back on going back to the barbershop. But luckily enough for me, bro, I've found a way of being able to do both at the same time.
Yes, dude. It's like you took a calculated risk, but you also found a way to make it work, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, bro.
Has that was it always a thing, like, to be, like, I guess, business minded, or like you say, it was just out of necessity? You had to like figure this shit out, or what? I'm gonna be broke.
I think a bit of both, bro, to be honest, because it was hard, like, knowing that my missus was carrying. So, as a father, you carry those responsibilities. And for me, that's always going to be number one, was making sure that my family was all good. But at the same time, I'll probably take it back a little bit further. Like, when I finished school, bro, I jumped straight into bloody like laboring work. I was working, doing like warehouse kind of work, driving forklifts, all that stuff, for a good like 3-4 years. Just slaving away, bro. Slaving away at someone else's dreams, if you will. And I knew, bro, like, I knew that I had more to offer. And so I guess a big part of me kind of, I've always known that I had more to give than, because, you look at our older, like in my family, I look at my grandparents, my parents, and just, knowing how hard they work to get where I am, well, where we are today, working multiple jobs. And yeah, I just knew I was better. I had more to offer. So, like, and saying that, I always wanted to be my own boss as well, bro.
Dude.
And yeah, I think that's what has led me to being where I am today. Like, it could have been anything, bro. But at the same time, I knew it would have been something that I was passionate about.
I can hear as you're talking, bro, I'm like thinking to myself, you had a great sense of belief, right?
Yeah.
Like you believe, like, oh man, I'm sure there's something else out there for me.
Yeah.
But also I kind of know that there's something else out there for me, and I'm gonna go find that. That sense of belief is mean, man. And then you talk about you're also, for me, I'm like just thinking about, I like to put myself in people's shoes when they're talking about these things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, he must have like believed in himself. And then secondly,
Yeah.
like you're observational, like you're watching your grandparents, your parents, and you're thinking, I don't think I quite want this.
Yeah.
Thingy. And then because I was the same with my dad's parents, and it'll be same with your family, bro. It's like they left their country,
Yeah,
like their home.
They migrated here.
They
for better
migrated here.
opportunities, man.
Yeah. And it's like, why would I waste that, right? Like that's how I feel anyway. A lot of times, like, why would I join a gang, or why would I go and do that? Because then for me, it's like almost disrespectful to my grandparents who had to leave their home so that I could live my luxurious life and privileged life. Like, nah, I'm not going to do any of that shit. Like, I'm going to do my best, like, just out of respect for them, but also because that's what the plan was, so that I could live a better life, like that my grandparents, grandkids could grow up in New Zealand, have good education, have, financial freedom of some sort eventually, maybe. Like, so that's what I'm hearing with you as well, man. Like that resonates really strongly with me. Hang on, bro.
All good, bro.
All good. Sorry, man.
You're all good, bro.
Man, I love that, bro. I love the sense of I just really felt like there's a strong sense of belief that you've got, and it's dope that you made it work too. That's mean, man. So you've been running the page since 2018, cutting hair on the side. There's something that really, really resonated with me about you as well, bro, and it's your artwork. Like, man, some of your artwork is the shit, G. Like, I'm like, damn. What was the latest one? I think you did like not the latest one, but there was one day where I think you did like a Kanye West album cover.
Yeah.
Man, that one was dope.
Yeah, so bro, that was my dream as a kid. Being an artist, a full-time artist. And it still is, bro. Like, it's still my dream. That's still my, like, I don't know. As a kid, I've always envisioned myself. I always wanted to be like specifically, I always wanted to be a mural artist, bro. Doing murals, painting murals, bro. I always looked up to, like the whole graffiti scene. I always looked up to all those guys. So, like, do you follow much like the New Zealand scene, bro? Like, do you know many graffiti artists?
Yeah, I'm a writer.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like all the TMD boys, bro, like, bro, like, it's crazy. Like, during college, I was convinced, bro, that was gonna be me. Like, I fully like how you talked about like that belief, bro. Like, I had fully told myself, bro, that's gonna be me, and like, it hasn't worked out yet. Like, plans have changed, and I'm okay with that. But that's still my dream, bro. That's still my is to be an artist. Yeah, specifically like doing murals. Just like making, New Zealand look nice.
Nah, that's dope. When I should say, when I say writer, I'm probably more leaning towards the toy end.
Yeah, I've seen your work, bro.
And I like because even barbering in itself is an art form, bro. Like,
it is, bro.
It's not easy, bro. Like,
nah, it's not easy. But I've noticed, like, me myself, I found it a bit easier because I feel like I have that creative mindset.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So I felt like I picked it up pretty quick, and I've noticed like people that I've worked with, or people that I've taught, that are naturally creative people, bro. They're like just naturals, bro. Like it's not, like you said, it's not easy, bro. But creative people definitely are well equipped to, taking it up, bro.
Yeah, that's dope. I liked, the community that we're in, and like thrifting and like flipping, reselling, whatever you want to call it. It's a nice way for us, because I'm from a what would you call it? Like a lower socioeconomic community, bro. That's the community that I belong to, and I'm trying to change that, right? I'm trying to belong to the, what's the opposite of low? High socio community. And thrifting and flipping is one of those ways to do it. But I also see barbering as a way, not that it's easy, but it's a nice way for young brown people especially to become business owners. Like I feel like that's a really good avenue to take, to be able to be your own boss. Is that true, bro? Or like I'm this is an assumption on my end. Yeah.
Definitely, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. And like the thing with barbering, bro, especially nowadays, like it's become more than cutting hair. Cutting hair is like, that's why, like, obviously you want a good haircut, but at the same time, to me, being a barber, it's about creating a safe space for your clients to come. Your chair is pretty much their space where they can talk about anything, bro. They can talk, whether it's their problems or if they want to share some good news, bad news, whatever it is, bro. And at the same time, for them to know that what you're like, what they're sharing is safe with me. That's how I view barbering now, bro. It's, in a sense, bro, it's kind of borderline, like counseling, if you will.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it counseling, but it definitely has those aspects of being able to listen, because like for me, I don't always have the answers, but just the fact that I can be a listening ear, I feel like is a big impact on, because like just going a bit off topic, sorry, bro, but I'm very, very passionate about mental health, but like particularly in men's mental health, and so for me, barbering has given me a good insight.
Nice.
It's been, bro, it's been buzzy because it's helped me to journey through my own personal issues and just real shit, bro, like stuff that we don't normally talk about.
Yeah.
And so it's helped me, bro. And like it's cool when I'm able to like become vulnerable and I let my clients see that they can be like that. It's just I don't know, I feel like a lot more people, like a lot more men, like especially Pacific Island and the Maori communities, bro. We need that shit. We need it.
Yeah, man. Bro, I'm loving this talk, bro. This is dope. I'm big on that too, bro. Like I've always found that like you talk about breaking down barriers, right? Allowing yourself to be vulnerable so that they know, like, gee, it's all good. Like you're in a safe space. Like
man. Like because like, bro, it's so easy to get caught up in that. Like, I don't know, with me and my boys, like it's just joke around. And that space is like comfortable. It's a comfortable space to, joke and like mock, put each other down. But then, when it comes to the side where, you can ask someone, how are you? And they're like, oh, good. But, and then, but really, how are you? When it comes to that, bro, it's so difficult. Like even I still find it pretty difficult too, bro. So yeah, just breaking down those barriers. That's my mahi at the moment. That's my journey, G.
That's dope, man. And you're right, because there's not too many positive role models that look like us, right?
Mm.
I mean, I grew up around in communities that, like, I believed at one stage in my life as a child that I was destined to become a gang member. Like, I actually thought that, like, that
Yeah.
was what we did. But like, it totally wasn't, and that wasn't until you get older and you learn and you get school and you learn about the world and you realize, like, oh shit, actually I'm a bit more than that. And but also these narratives are also being told to us too, right? So it's like, if I'm continually being told these things, then it must be true.
Mm.
And then it got to a stage for me where I figured out, I guess I was overconfident, cocky, or whatever. But I got to a point for me where I thought actually being a gang member was easy in a way.
Mm.
I felt like, if my cousin can do it, and I knew, no, not to shit on my cousins or anything, but I'm like, fuck, if he can do it, like, it must be easy. Like, and I would rather take the challenge, or I would rather take the route that's different, and then following down that path, because I thought, because like I'm like 6'4", 6'5", like over 120 kgs. Like, my natural abilities lean itself towards being intimidating and physical and all that. So
Yeah.
I thought, like, that's easy, but it's also what people want me to do,
Yeah.
because it perpetuates those narratives and ideas of what a Pacific Islander or Maori is or should be. So it's always been interesting to me about, we based, like, if we were Marvel characters, our superpower would be stereotype breakers, or like barrier
Yeah.
destroyers or something like that. Like, that would be the ultimate superpower. And that's something that I can hear in you, bro. Like, just talking about barbering is not just a place to get a fresh fade for the club or whatever, but it's a place for you to connect on a real level and just be like, gee, how you been? And like, are you all good? Like, nah, gee, like, how you been?
Yeah.
And I bet you've had those conversations, right?
It's been hard, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the last time we were meant to tee up the podcast,
Mm,
I had lost one of my bros to suicide, one of my clients, one of my younger cousins. And, like, it hit me hard, bro. Just the fact that I felt like I was in a space where I could
damn,
I
yeah,
could do something.
yeah,
Not putting the blame on myself, but I think it was more so the fact that, yeah, bro, it's like I still find it hard to process, because it just goes to show, like, how good we are at wearing masks.
mm,
Um,
yeah,
and so, yeah, I'm still figuring out, how can I approach things a bit better, or yeah, I don't know, bro. Like that, like that's just, like I said, that's my journey at the moment. Because I'm so passionate about it. Um, I'm still trying to figure it all out, bro.
yeah. I mean, there's never a what would you call it? There's never a solution, right, to fix that.
Yeah.
Everything's different. Everyone's different
Mm.
context, different time, location. Flip, I don't know what they ate that morning. Like, you never know why people do things they do, right? And you talk about a mask, man. That's real interesting. Yeah. It'll be. I feel like you're the type of person to take that mask off. Like,
I
see.
think I've learned to, bro. Like, um, I guess during my whole barbering journey, it's just taught me that it's okay to let your guard down. Um, Beforehand, like throughout college, my early teens, early adulthood, it was different. Like, it was just that whole I'm all good persona. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sweet, and like,
It's dangerous. See.
that's, yeah, bro. That's it, like, when I look back, bro. Um, wasn't a nice place to be.
Mm.
And I felt like being a father really shifted my mindset as well, like helped me come out of that kind of mentality, bro. But it was hard because I didn't, like, growing up, I didn't have that, I didn't really have anyone to look up to in that sense. Like, my uncles are, you know, they're like, I didn't even know what vulnerability looked like.
Straight up.
Yeah, like that's it, bro. Like, I didn't know what it looked or felt like. And like in my head, when I was like letting my guard down, I was like, fuck, I must look like a bitch. You know what I mean, bro?
I
Like,
know exactly what you mean, bro.
yeah. So yeah, it's totally different now, bro. Like, I'm okay to just tell it like it is. And if people look at me differently, then I'm okay with that as well. But on the inside, I feel at peace.
Man, and you know, one thing too is like you never know who's watching, right?
Sorry, bro. My missus is just heading off somewhere.
Oh, good. Hello, thank you for letting him talk to you.
See you, babe. So she's just on a night shift at the moment.
Oh man, good on yous, man. Grinding. Yeah, you're talking about that stuff, bro. It brings me to a place of like the reason why we do things. And you talked about being a dad, changing that perspective, like changing the narrative for your kids, right? And
yeah,
showing them like, yes, this is all good, man. Like getting rid of that whole harden up, stop being up with the mentality that maybe generations before us had. It's not, just doesn't work. Like, it's not working. Like, why are we still doing the same thing if it doesn't work?
Nah, bro. It's just, yeah, like you said, it's just a whole like intergenerational problem, man. And like the thing is, like with our generation or generations, bro, like being online changes everything, man. You know, like everything that we see, and like, cause bro, you could like, I don't know, like I always find myself comparing myself to other people. Like you see, like, you know, people are pretty much posting their highlight reels on everything, like, you know, every platform, bro. And it's like, fuck, my life's pretty shit compared to, you know, what these guys are posting up.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, man.
And so, like, you know, yeah, just like the whole technology aspect, you know, our parents and grandparents, they didn't get to experience, you know, life as we know it. But yeah, anyway, going back to being an intergenerational problem, bro, that's exactly it, man. And it's hard because like even my peers, they still struggle seeing things like that from coming from that perspective, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm all good with that. Like, you know, I can't force shit down people's throat. Like, you know, or like I can't tell them to think like that. That's just, you know, everyone's different.
Yeah, man.
But for me, yeah, bro, I don't know. Like, it's a journey, bro. And there's like, I feel like there's no real right or wrong answers at the moment. Everyone's just fucking figuring shit out.
It's like as you were talking, I was thinking about how you were kind of saying that maybe some of your peers aren't quite at that stage yet of thinking, right? Like they're not in that thinking space. And I learned because I'm probably maybe nine or so years older than you. So I was probably like a generation above you. And I was always of the mindset that no, not always of the mindset. I learned the mindset that when I was 26, same age as you are now, I had 2 children as well, and they were both young. And I was in a transition phase between hanging out with the boys, you know, year boys, weekends, transitioning out of that into thinking about buying a house, thinking about, business, thinking about long-term plans, stuff beyond the weekend. I'm thinking 5-year plan, 10-year plan. And then I learned that the decisions that you actually make as say a 26-year-old, right? Those decisions that you make now as Nux is actually going to impact your, let's say, great-grandchildren who you will never see. That you may never meet your great-grandchild, but the life that they're going to live in, or the world they're going to grow up in, is actually going to be shaped by you and the decisions that you make now. And it's hard for people to see that or understand that. Like you talk about intergenerational issues and problems. Well, it's going to require intergenerational solutions. So it starts somewhere. So it's going to be with me. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop antisocial behaviors. I'm going to stop stepping people out because they wear a certain color. I'm going to stop, beating my missus. It's going to start here so that my grandchild's children aren't going to know what that is. They're not going to understand that. They're going to look back and hear about it and be like, really? Like, wow. And then always they're providing them the reason why. Like, some things have impacted us because of things that are out of our hands, right? So like colonization and all that kind of stuff. But we can't always play that card. We got to still figure out ways, and it's like you left your job, you still had to provide for your family. Like it's still gonna happen, and you just figure it out. And man, I'm loving this talk to you. Like this is deep. I'm glad to be able to have this conversation, and for someone so young as well, man. Like you really got a really good head on your shoulders, brother. That's deep. That's mean, man. Props to you, bro. Damn, I feel motivated for something. Like I feel inspired.
That's what it's all about, bro. Like just bouncing off, I feel like that's what community is, man. We all like share our ideas. Obviously, not everyone is going to agree, but at the end of it, you only hope that everyone feels inspired.
Nah, that's dope, G. Well, I guess change the pace up a bit, and because I feel like we covered a lot of ground in that little conversation there.
Sure.
Thinking about being good role models, breaking down stereotypes and changing the intergenerational narratives. How has it been running your? Would you say you run two businesses, or how would you describe your hustles, and how has that been, like in terms of, I guess, family stuff? Because I know your missus just left for night shift. Like, how has that been, bro? Like that dynamic and learning.
Yeah, definitely. That's tough, bro. It's really, really hard. But I don't know, bro. I've always just been a fighter, man. I've always found a way to get shit done. But like I said, bro, like my partner and kids, they will always come first. And I think that's what's hard, bro, is like, because, like running two businesses, fitting that in with a young family, it's hard. It's hard knowing that, kids, bro, like they spell love, TIME. All they want is your time and your attention, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty much all they want, man. And like I always make sure I do my best to give them what they need. And so that's the challenge, bro. And I think that's why I don't really like the way I do my mahi. That's why I do my mahi the way I do, is because all my time and energy is going towards them and my partner. Like I wish, I'm pretty confident, like in the future, they'll, when they get a bit older, they'll be all good. And then from there, I'll be able to, like, content and like all that shit, I'll be able to fit that into my already busy schedule. But for now, that's my main focus, is making sure that my kids have my time and energy. I'm making sure I answer their questions, because like our oldest boy, he's 6 years old, and 6 years old, they fucking ask 20,000 questions every day.
Dad.
Yeah, bro. Like it's something, and like I don't want to be that guy and be like, shh, just go and ask, blah blah. Like I always do I don't always get it right, bro. That's the thing. Like there'll be days where I'm tired, I'm feeling tired or stressed, and I know, like, the good thing is I'm able to be aware of it, which I think is quite hard for a lot of people. Self-awareness. So yeah, I'm still learning, like all that stuff, bro. But yeah, the ultimate answer, yeah, that's tough, bro. But at the same time, being like running a business, having that flexibility, that's the win on that end. I can just work when I want to, cut hair when I want to, and make sure that I'm available. I'm always going to be available in case anything happens. Yeah, that's pretty much it, bro.
It's a beautiful thing you said about time. And I had a friend of mine who says it's the most valuable currency in the world. It is time.
100.
It doesn't matter how much clothes you slang or how many people's heads you cut. Like, it's at the end of the day, you're doing it all for that one thing, right? Which is time to be with your kids. And so, man, that's beautiful, bro. That is a beautiful thing. One of the things I love about Welly, bro, and you Welly cats, man, you guys to me are like, I don't know, I'm not from Wellington, just to put this out there. I'm not from Wellington, but I've always had the thinking that Wellington people are like the coolest, like style-wise, trends, things that are happening in terms of like pop culture and what's going on. Like,
yeah,
it just always, and then there's always like a uniqueness about Welly as well. Like, they just move different, and they like,
yeah,
and this is coming from someone who, like, I grew up in Auckland and Hamilton, so those have been my experiences. But every Wellingtonian that I know or friend of mine from Welly, I'm just like, man, there's just something about you that's different. Do you feel that in any way, or am I just talking?
Yeah, I can see that, bro. Like, I think the way I like see Wellington, like as a Wellingtonian, there's a lot of diversity, bro. A lot of diversity. And like I've really noticed a good shift in like the community, because I'm not from town, I'm not from the city, I'm from out I come from Lower Hutt, and it's like outside of Wellington City, and then you've got Aotearoa, which is like another subsidy. So we're from the subsidies of Wellington. But like, yeah, what I was saying is, like, I've noticed in the past couple of years, a lot of community minded, kind of like everyone's just coming together, bro. All the creatives, like content, shit like that. It's been mean to see, bro. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like Auckland has always been the,
Yeah.
but that's probably because I'm a Wellingtonian, so I don't looking from the outside in kind of thing.
I definitely think Auckland tends to get stuff. Like back in the 90s when I was a young kid, I always felt like Auckland got stuff first. And maybe because that's the main port, right? Like,
true.
The main airports there, they're gonna get stuff first.
Yeah.
Whether it be trains, clothes, whatever. But there was just something about Wellington people, there's just some like a uniqueness about them. Like, we would wear Jordans and stuff, but I think the way Wellingtonians wear Jordans is a bit different to how we might wear it. And yeah, I don't know, man. I just like Wellington people, bro. That's what it is, probably.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I've loved growing up here, and I wouldn't change it. Like, I told my missus, like, I want to die here, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
that's how much I love. Like, especially where I'm from like a little place called Petone. And like, fuck, I love my neighborhood. I love my people. And like where I'm from, because I'm from Tokelau, we've got quite a big population here in Petone. And I think that's what's, that's why I'm so happy to be from here, bro. Just the people, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's bloody friendly. Everyone, like, sorry, bro. I've noticed, like, Auckland, like, the vibe's a bit different, especially on the roads, eh? Crazy bastards up there. But like down here in Wellington, like, it's just chill, man. Like, I genuinely feel like everyone's just chill and everyone just gets along, no drama.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, I think, when you talked about diversity, bro. It's very diverse. Like, I walk down Cuba Street, man, and I'm gonna see a
like
whole range of things. Like, that's like I'll just a walk stroll down Cuba, man, and you'll realize, like, this is a broad range of not even just ethnicities in terms of cultures, but like different groups of people, like the music people, the arts people, you know, the actors, all of this drama people. There's all sorts of stuff in communities. It's maybe that's what it is that makes Wellington unique in my eyes, I suppose. Man, that's dope. You talked about your Pacific Island community, bro, and me being from Samoa, you from Tokelau. It's like, bro, I've been trying real hard to bring like aloha shirts in there. Like, it's like my little thing, or like my little side mission. Like, man, I'm gonna make these like popular as.
Yeah.
And it helped too, like with Sorted and them like ripping hard. I'm
do
like,
it, bro. Yeah, do it.
I'm like trying
to
to like
believe it, make it happen.
I've been like thrifting, like low key, just like Hawaiian shirts made in, like trying to find stuff made in the islands too, though. Like, you gotta have that little extra something on there. So I've been looking for stuff made in Fiji, Hawaii. Like, I haven't found anything made in Samoa, but I've just been trying to like thrift it to a point where maybe the younger generations, or like younger generation of PI kids, are like, man, this shit's dope. Like, I want to work that. I don't know. Maybe it's just about reclamation of our culture in a way.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Yeah.
Like when you see like someone wearing a Vailima top,
bro, that's dope.
You know he's you know he's on.
Hell yeah. Shit, yeah, actually. Man, I think someone had one, bro, recently.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but they were selling it, but it wasn't my size. I was like, damn. And I thought I better leave that for someone else to grab it. Surely someone's gonna grab that. Shit, yeah. Is there anything in particular that you kind of look for when you're going out thrifting or doing your therapy, as you say? Is there anything in particular you're after, or is it? Yeah,
I think it's changed, bro. Like over the course of the 3 years that I've been thrifting, I think what would you say? Like, what I'm targeting has changed. Like, I've always tried to make sure that I keep, because obviously styles change and fashion changes, but I've always tried to keep a lookout at what's popular, what's on demand, and pretty much just go look for that shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I've always, I feel like I've always had a good sense of style, bro. And even if it's something that's not so popular, if I think it's like, fire, I'll just grab it, bro.
Yeah. It's dope that you say that too, because I guess I have the luxury of like the 90s and 2000s. Those are the decades that I grew up in, and that's a lot of where pop culture is influenced, right? Like,
definitely, bro.
Whether it's musical clothes or sports, and I see stuff in the ops and the thrifts. So like, what's an example? Like Fubu, or do you remember? Is it a Nietzsche or a Nice? It's like early 2000s.
Is that like similar to Fubu?
kind of like a New York influence kind of clothing brand.
What's it called?
Is it I think it's Aniche or Anice. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's ENYCE.
Right, there was heaps. There was
Man,
heaps.
there was like Mark Echo was still like dope.
I remember the Fat Farm shoes. Do you remember Fat Farm?
Bro, Fat Farm.
Kalkanai.
Coconut 555 sold. Shit, who else was there? Lot 29.
Yep.
All of these like early 2000s, and it was like real heavy New York influenced. And I see the stuff and I'm like buzzing out, and then like I'll go to my oldest is 15, and I'm like, gee, check this out, and he's like, gee, nah, G, like, nah, G, like, just,
bro, like nobody's fucking with it, kind of thing.
And I feel hella old, bro. Like I'm like, damn. But it's cool that you talk about. You made me feel a bit better that I'm still picking that stuff up because I think it's cool.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, that was like one of the big things when I first started. To me, those were grails. Like, if I found a Fubu shop, be like, oh shit. Like, be like, babe, look at this. And she'd be like, what's that? Like, kind of thing. But like, yeah, like how you said, bro, like growing up in the whole pop culture, music scene, you see like rappers wearing it in their music videos, watching movies, and like you see, like I watched, do you remember that movie Hardball?
Yeah. I love
it when
they call me Big Pop.
Yeah, bro, yeah. And I watched it like last week, and like all the kids were wearing like rocking Fubu and stuff. So like, yeah, I think, yeah, just that whole nostalgia, like tied to it.
Yeah, big time. What was you talked about Hardboy, and I thought of Nelly for some reason. Did Nelly have a label?
Yeah, bro. I don't know if off the top of my head, I can't remember. But he was like, he was another, what would you call it? Like style influencer.
Yep. You ever rock
rocking the old
you rock the
lifestyle? That was you,
Oh man, I definitely rocked the headbands and the armbands. Man, those are the days. I wonder if that'll come around. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Bro. Who knows, right? Like, never know, man. Yeah, I've managed to I found a Fubu cardigan and a Fat Farm hoodie this year, so I was quite stoked. And I wear them like all good, man. Like these kids nowadays probably don't know what the hell that is, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like what you consider a grail might not be a grail to someone else, but I feel like that's what I love about it, bro. Is that like it's not about like obviously business wise you want to be making money, but when it comes to finding something that's meaningful, bro, that's so much more valuable than money, like a monetary value. And I've always felt like that's what keeps me going back. It's not so much to find like, it's just more for me, like how I said, it's therapeutic. When I find stuff that takes me back, takes me back to a happy place, and yeah.
What are some things that you do find, bro, that you find does take you back?
Bro, when I like my latest buzz has been looking for PlayStation games, Yeah, bro.
PlayStation 1?
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
So I found last week I found Athens 2004, the Olympics. Yeah, bro. Like just takes me back to when growing up with all my cousins. Like how I said, the community here, Tokelau, heaps of cousins. So we all grew up together, like gaming and shit. But yeah, I just remember that Athens 2004, bro, like the 100-meter sprints. You gotta like tap X and circle fucking super quick, bro. And bro, just took me back, man.
Yeah, these memories are awesome. I bought a retro Pi, which is one of those I don't know what to call them, but they've got like all the different emulators loaded on them. And
True.
then you just plug in your like USB controller and you play it like a normal PlayStation or game. And I copped one, I think it's got like 6,000 games on it.
But
But it's got the different emulators from like Super Nintendo, Sega Saturn, Mega Drive,
yeah,
heaps of them. And my son loves it, bro. He like loves going through these old games and like,
bro,
Dad, check
that
this
must be
game out.
me. That must be cool for you, bro.
Oh, bro, I get to play with him and like share
Yeah,
stories.
that's what
like,
I mean, man.
So I learned how to play Street Fighter with my older cousins in Greyland. And like they were babysitting me, and then we went there, and then that was the first time I looked up to teenagers, and I thought, whoa, these guys are bad. Like they were smoking and shit like that. But we were in, this is back when you still had arcades. Like you still had like shops that were just specifically for spacies, and like I get to share that show from like, I remember when like I was on Ponsonby Road and like we were in Greyland, and my cousin told me how to do the shoryukens, and then now I'm teaching him and But yeah, like exactly right, bro. Having those moments together and sharing. And then it's funny now because he was telling me about Daigo. Man, I don't know, some Japanese gamer who's like the Street Fighter king, apparently. So I'm like, we're kind of learning off each other now too, which is dope. Like, but yeah, now it's a cool little thing. So PlayStation, that's your new buzz.
Yeah, bro. Or just like, bro, it's like random shit, eh? Like when nothing beats that feeling, bro, when you find something and it just takes you back, man.
Nice. That's dope. You play journaling?
Yep. Yeah, bro.
You rate yourself?
I rate probably not Journalomu, but Rugby 08.
Oh wait.
Bro.
Untouchable.
That has to be on the classic view though, not the sideline view.
Man, I never so my old lady never believed in video games, so she never bought me one.
True.
But I had heaps of friends and cousins that had them, so I always had like opportunities to play and stuff like that. But I think by the time 08 came along, I don't think I hear big things about Rugby 08, but I can't even remember playing it.
True.
And I think if I did, I would have got my ass kicked, so I probably didn't bother. Like, oh shit, I suck. I'm not even gonna try. But games for me, like Mortal Kombat, just the usuals. Street Fighter.
What's your favorite Street Fighter, bro?
I just like the Street Fighter 2 with it, like
original
World Warrior. Yeah, I like that one. I've been trying to get into the Street Fighter 3s with my son.
Is Akuma in Street Fighter 2?
Nah,
just Ryu and Ken.
Just Ryu Ken. Who else is there?
Who's your character?
I'm basic as I just go Ryu. Yeah. I tried to go with E Honda because I love sumo wrestling. I like sumo wrestling. Like I watch sumo wrestling to this day. And so I try to jam with E Honda, but I'm just not quite there. I don't really rate myself. Like I kick my son's ass, but that's about it. I don't really So Athens 2004. Tony Hawk. You ever get into Tony Hawk skating and stuff? Yeah.
It was like that era, bro. Like I remember just bloody pretending to be sick nearly every week, man. Just to game. Like Tony Hawk Underground 2 and 3, like Need for Speed Underground, and all those like the sports games like NFL Street, FIFA Street. Bro, fuck, I just remember like bullshitting, bro, because I grew up with my grandparents. My mum lived here as well, but I've always considered like my grandparents like my real parents, because my parents split like when I was a kid, so they took me under. But I was I wouldn't say spoiled, but I got a lot of stuff that not everyone did as a kid growing up, and like video games was one of them. So I just remember like I don't know, bro. When I think back, bro, like fuck, the amount of days that I didn't go to school, I'm lucky to be where I am, man.
Had to hone your skills, bro. That's why.
Yeah, bro.
You're talking about grails before, bro, and how everyone has different grails. What would you consider your grails, and what are some things that you've, I guess, found some highlights of stuff that you've found at the thrift?
Yeah. That's a good question, bro.
Because does yours change?
Yeah, again, I feel like it's changed, bro. I guess in recent times, it's been like sports related. So like, rugby league jerseys. Huge fan of sports in general, bro. Growing up, playing multiple sports throughout the week. Come from a pretty sporty family as well. Not not playing any sports at the moment, because I just struggle finding the time. But always big on sports, and like rugby jerseys. That's been my jam at the moment, and like I've bloody been putting away quite a bit. Like it's got to the point where I don't even know what I have anymore, bro. I'm just like constantly, like weekly. That's another thing. Like, if I'm not up shopping, bro, then I'm on my phone, bloody looking for, trying to get in for bloody steals. And that's the struggle, bro, is being on my phone, and like my kids are like trying to talk to me, but I'm just like, now wait here. I'm just looking on Trade Me. Give me 5 minutes. That's the hard thing, bro. Like it's funny, but then it's not funny. Like It's like, fuck, I'm a sad guy, man.
I'm laughing because I know exactly what you mean, bro.
Yeah. Can you resonate with that, bro?
Yeah, bro.
It's so hard, bro. Like honestly, I feel like I don't know if I have an addictor's mind, but I feel like it is quite an addiction to be looking and searching, like sourcing. Yeah.
I think it's good. It's cool that you are self-aware though, and that you do recognize it, because I'm sure you make up for it, right? Like, or you try to.
Yeah, at least, bro. Like, because I feel guilty, bro. But I'm still like scrolling. You know what I mean? It's hard, bro.
I always I liken it to like the hustler mentality. That's how I kind of justify it in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sourcing. Like, okay, now I'm finished now. Like, make sure I'm finished, put the phone away, and go do family. Like, but I always kind of, maybe it's just me trying to make myself not guilty in a way. I don't know, but yeah, you definitely got to draw the line sometimes. Like,
yeah, bro. Like that's something I'm still learning to polish up. Like making myself aware. Like, okay, I need to turn my phone off now because I've got other shit to do. Bro, and I find it so hard. I find it hard, bro. Like just putting my phone down, because I like seeing what everyone's up to as well. Like I like looking at like what everyone got from the op shops, like who picked up what.
Yep.
Because I love it. Like, but at the same time, it can be dangerous because like I said, I don't know if I have an addict's mind, but I feel like in some things I do, and this is definitely one of them.
I had a conversation with my partner about it because she brought it up. She's like, "Oh, you're on your phone a bit too much."
Yeah.
And then I got defensive in a way, because I said to her, "Well, this is how I, operate my business. Like, this is how I communicate." But I thought to myself, come on, like, you're not being real. Like, you're just browsing. Like, you're not even, talking to people. So I definitely can feel you on that one, bro.
Yeah, bro. And like, I hope, like, even like if there's someone listening, like, I hope that they can, that this will help them become aware of it as well. Because, bro, like, to me, it can be quite dangerous and damaging as well, bro. Like, the amount of times that I didn't even realize that I'm just scrolling for nothing kind of thing. It can become quite damaging in that sense, where like it can affect people's relationships. And so yeah, like I'm super grateful to be able to be aware of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, even at family functions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I tell myself, don't pull out your phone.
Yeah. just being present, hey, like being
yeah,
present.
like don't pull out your phone, and then if I see someone pull out their phone, like I'll just ask them a question, like just to make them like, and then they'll put their head up and then put their phone away and they start talking. Like I'm like, just yeah, like so exactly the point you're making, like be present in the moment, like enjoy this too, like
Yeah,
with good company, and pull out your phone if you need to take a photo. If I, otherwise put it away. Like,
hard work.
I do find myself telling myself like, "Oh, don't pull your phone out here." So yeah,
And it's a lot more common than we realize, now,
big time, man. Like you always,
especially with like especially with like all the like these new platforms coming up, where it's only
man.
gonna get worse, man.
I mean, it's designed to keep us here, right?
Yeah,
Like they all designed that way. And even if you did all the, the deep clinical analytics of the brain and like endorphins, and you're getting all of this dopamine hit like in the palm of your hand
yeah,
versus remember when we used to go out and have to fish and
yeah,
have to
bro.
hunt and do all those sorts of things. Now we're just like, if we want to get a high or get a buzz, we just look at our phone now. It's
Yeah.
easy.
Well,
Really great
yeah, bro.
point, bro. Like you brought up a really great point. That's dope.
Well, like on that note, bro, like I've been really encouraging myself, not even encouraging, bro, but I've like been drawn to taking time away from my phone and just being present. So like an example was like, bro, I've been like handies into my diving the last
My
like
man.
since last summer,
Yeah.
and like I feel like it's related to like what we just spoke about, bro. Being present and like actually seeing what's right in front of me, kind of thing, as opposed to this digital world that are like we tend to live in a lot of the time. So yeah, like diving, bro, is like unreal way. It's like not only do I get to feed the family, but it's more so just being present, bro. Um, and like I feel like it also ties into what we spoke about before in terms of like healing and being vulnerable
Mm.
when you're like this is just me, but when I'm diving, I'm pretty much in my head, like because it's just me and my surroundings underwater, and it's like a whole new world, and I'm like listening to my thoughts, having to keep myself calm.
Yeah, I can hear your breath, your
This is,
heartbeat.
bro, this is like deep. I feel like I'm getting deep, but I feel like, yeah, why not share it? But anyway, yeah, like I feel like that's been one of my forms of being present. And fuck, I didn't realize how much I love doing shit like that. I think just anything to do with like getting active, but like diving specifically, it's like shit. This is taking me to a whole nother place that I didn't even know of myself. Like breath work, like keeping calm, like overcoming fears, like and then like at the end of it, you get a feed, like you get to take a feed home. So it's rewarding. At the same time, it's rewarding physically, mentally, spiritually. So yeah, I thought I'd just check it in, bro, since we were on the subject.
It's nice, man. It's I love the way that you're able to provide a perspective on things that aren't like it's not just surface level. It's you're talking about things where you're putting yourself in situations, right? You're underwater, like you're describing it, like you can hear your breath work, you can overcoming fears. Because I'm the same. Like I was talking to the bro NZ Jersey Hunter who dives and hunts
Yeah,
and shit all the
yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
and I was telling him like, my fears around. So where we go, like close to me, bro, we go up the coast, east coast, and there's like stingrays and stuff like that, and like those sorts
Yeah.
of things, like octopus, and like you're in the water and you're like, shit, much. Like you start buzzing up, but as you say, start overcoming it, calm down.
Yeah,
Sometimes like do a karakia out there and like respecting tangaro, like don't
yeah,
forget
bro.
you're the boss.
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
I'm just here. Yeah. Man, that's so cool. I loved how you talked about op shopping being a therapeutic as well, but it sounds like diving is sort of that thing as well for you.
yeah. I think it's more that, like, I don't know, just I like getting away from everything, bro. And like
Yeah, nice
that's
escape.
just a small form of it.
Mm,
It's funny, like my missus, she hard out wants to like live rural, like live on a farm kind of vibe.
nice,
But I'm like
nice.
the complete opposite, bro. I wanna like I'm a city boy kind of thing, and I love being like around people. But then at the same time, like I've learned, like I do need that, like yeah, I do need that as well. So yeah, it will be interesting to see where we are in like 5-10 years time. Who's gonna like
Who's gonna win?
yeah,
Man, I mean, like if you compare it though to like the islands, right? It would probably be no different to what you're doing, talking about diving and stuff
yeah,
and gathering food.
exactly, bro. Just
So
living off the land, eh?
yeah, basically, yeah. Do you ever feel when you meet up with cousins and family, not so much plastic? Because I already know for me, I live in New Zealand, man. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna compare, but it's like I'm always reminded of how privileged I am, but also like some of my cousins, like some of the shit they do, like I'm just like, like I find them really fascinating. Like I asked them, "What do you do when you're hungry and stuff like that?" They just go, "Oh, we only eat once a day." I'm like,
mm,
"Oh yeah, that's right." Like, "Oh, do you like, when you're young, do you have microwaves? Do you have
yeah,
ovens?" They're like, "Nah." Like
yeah,
we used to do
yeah,
it the
bro.
old school way, man. Like, and you reminded, and then you think, what if you're hungry and you want a snack? Oh, we just go get a banana. And I'm like, where from? Like thinking the fruit bowl. I don't know, from the tree, like at the back of the house. Like, I'm like, oh shit. And if we don't want a banana, we might get a mango, or we might get a pawpaw, or get some coconuts. I'm like, damn, these guys are real. Like, they live off the land.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
you want to fish, you got to go get it. You want to raise pigs and chickens, like you got to raise them and take care of them. And so it sounds like your Mrs. Burr, she's wanting to go back to that kind of way of living. It
I think
sounds
so,
like.
bro. I think so. And like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking like over time, I might swing in that direction. And I feel like thinking about it now, I feel like I'd be okay with it as well. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't move away from my hometown, bro. And it will definitely take some convincing, bro.
It just to throw it in there for your missus, bro. Like I'm not from Kodo, bro. Not one bit. And there was no way that I was wanting to move there 10 years ago. But my missus is from there. And I wasn't happy. Like I was not happy, bro. I was leaving the mean streets of H Town. And you asked me the same question now, like would I change anything? Bro, I wouldn't change it for a world. Like I love where I am, and the quality of life I have, and the friendships I've made, and the community I'm in. Like we have our struggles, but man, we also have our wins as well. Like it's a really cool place to live rurally, and you learn lots, and you experience different things than you would to the city. But one thing I learned is you can always go back to the city. Like you can always go shopping or
Yeah.
whatever. And not that I'm trying to like one for your missus team, but but maybe one day.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah, definitely more pros than cons, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys will sort that out in private. Like and so you're in Petone. What are your local thrifts like, man? Like, what's the scene like there? Is it competitive in Welly, or
Uh, it's definitely competitive, but it's not like, you know, it, uh, the kind of competition where
The reselling community is not really nasty in that sense. Like, everyone's pretty
Yeah,
supportive.
it's not like that, bro. But yeah, in saying that, there are a lot of thrifters,
Yeah.
who live in Wellington. But I reckon, like I'm still amazed, bro, the shit that I find there, and like the amount that I'm finding, like it's become sustainable for me. Like I tend to look at thrifting like fishing, bro. Like if you know your spots, if you know your times, you know, you'll strike. And so, over the time where I started to where I am now, I've developed a good sense of awareness of like where I need to be at certain times. And even like the chats that I need to have with the ladies, with the workers.
Yep.
Where it's funny, like there was a phase where I was using my youngest as like my scapegoat, like, like they'll be like, oh, that's a cute baby. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, have you still any rugby jerseys at the back? Stuff like that, bro. Like I try swing things in my direction. And like, because I do it nearly every day, I try and keep it fun,
Yeah.
Because there'll be days where it's like, it's a bloody drag, man. Like driving from place to place. And yeah, like I think that's the important thing, bro. It's just keeping it fun. But yeah, like we get pretty lucky here in Wellington.
I guess the more populated areas, right? There's going to be more people wearing clothes, so maybe more opportunities for stuff to land at the thrifts. Nice.
Yeah, and I think the way like that Wellington is set up, it's quite like it's spread out quite
true
well.
That, eh?
Yeah, bro. Like
now that I think about it.
Yeah, I'm in a sub city, and there's like 100,000 people, bro. And then in Aotearoa, you've got like another 200,000 people. But then like in the main city, that's where all the like most of the population is. But it's quite well spread out, bro. And saying that, it's not far either.
Yeah, I even think of like going past Porirua, like heading towards Otaki and Levin ways. Like there's still like
bro,
kind of a well spread out communities like along that coastline just there.
Yeah.
Because like I was surprised at how big Otaki was.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this place is actually bigger than you think. Like when you're heading towards Wellington, like damn. So you're like, as you say, it's well spread out, and I guess there's more of a spread, right, of op shops, and everyone gets their fair share.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Like that's like the fact that there's a lot of thrifters. I feel like there's equally enough
nice
op shops to cater, for everyone.
Hard up, man. You talked about keeping it fun, bro. What are some of those things that you do to keep it fun? Like I started with my son. We would say, okay, there's 3 things that we need to find today, and we'll try and keep it realistic.
Yeah,
like, I won't say like, oh, we're gonna find a 95 away Warriors jersey. Like, we'll keep it realistic. We're like, oh, we'll find an alcohol related t-shirt.
Yeah.
And like, no matter what it is, if we can find one of those, like, mission accomplished. That's one thing that we do just to keep it upbeat. And what are some ways that you'd like to keep it fun and interesting?
Oh, bro, I think for me, it's mainly like the thing that I find boring or like that shit is driving driving everywhere, bro. So like apart from like listening to music, I've been like heavy on the like sports related podcasts.
Nice.
So like just all the have you heard of Bloke in a Bar? That one?
Yep.
Yeah, so fuck, I listen to that guy nearly every day. I don't know, I just like keeping updated like in the league scene and all that. But bro, that's a bloody good idea, man. Like, kind of like a treasure hunt. if you
Yeah,
will.
bro. It is like we only pick three things because we try and keep it real because our thrifts, like we're not in highly populated communities.
Yeah,
So it's like I will go bear related and then we'll throw out rugby, like anything to do with rugby. And then we'll pick like anime or banty. And
me.
then but sometimes it changes, like we'll say, oh, we gotta find something from Samoa, or we gotta find like whatever's happening. And then sometimes we'll challenge each other to find something.
Yeah,
Because it also makes it fun because we get into the thrift and we're trying to beat each other.
yeah.
So we're going through racks just for our little side mission. Like, so yeah,
Bit
just
of, bit of friendly competition, eh?
yeah, that spices things up. And
Yeah, bro.
he doesn't get bored either because I'm dragging him along to these op shops and shit. He's like, come on, G, I'm 15. I don't want to be on these fucking op shops with my dad.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, we try and make it fun for him as well. And even like, do you ever find yourself? I talked to a few people about this. Do you ever find yourself in like the homeware part of the op shop looking at shit sometimes?
yeah, bro. Every day, like that's like how I was going back to like finding random shit. Like yeah, stuff like it's fuzzy because when I first started, it was just clothes. Like I'll just be in the racks, but now, I guess that goes back to making things fun as well. Like now I'm looking through the whole op shop. You know what I mean, bro? Like,
I recently found one of those Warriors glasses. You know, those
yeah,
ones that
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has. Yeah.
Uh,
And it was like a nice reminder, like, oh, yeah, make sure you check the glassware.
yeah,
And like,
hard, bro.
shit,
Hard out.
anything that it's gotten to a point for me now where I'm like, fine, if we need something for the house, I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, I'll keep an eye out at the op shop. Maybe they'll have one.
yeah,
Um, but it's been such a cool thing too. Like you talked about talking to the ladies and stuff, and I love it. Like talking to
yeah,
the ladies, and I think it's good for them too because it
yeah,
breaks
bro.
up their day.
Yeah, well, like just to be acknowledged, they, you know, because they go there pretty much, 9 customers out of 10 won't even ask how their day is, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
harder.
like that's I'm just assuming that, but yeah, hard, bro. I always like just making sure that they feel acknowledged, um, and yeah, I guess just treating people how you would want to be treated in a
Yeah,
way.
for sure, man. I was in a thrift in Rotorua recently, and these two old ladies were sorting through a bag. And this is the second time it's actually happened to me, but it was like one of those sexy lingerie kind of joints. And these two old ladies were like having a giggle, like laughing with each other. And one of them goes, "Oh, I think you'll fit it." And they're like, "Oh, shush." Da, da, da. Like, but that's the second time it's happened to me in the thrift, like overhearing the ladies having their chats, and it's funny as hell, man. And I'm like looking, but then I'll like move out of earshot so they know that I can't hear them. Man, some funny stuff that happens in the op shops, man. Anything interesting happen for you, bro, at all?
Yeah, bro, heaps, man. But like, um, yeah, just like because recently, bro, like it's just been a grind. Like off the top of my head, like I know heaps of shit has happened, bro. But just off the top of my head, fuck, I can't remember, man.
No, no. How is the lockdown? Because you talked about how it's been a grind. How has that kind of impacted your business or how your ability to go out and thrift and stuff?
Mm. So dating back to the first lockdown last year, that led me to doing those custom pieces, the denim paintings that I was doing. Yeah, obviously because everything was closed, being locked up. Oh, sorry, not locked up, but being at home. I kind of needed to find other ways of how I could create a source of income. Um, and saying that, I still had a lot of clothes to sell, but I guess I saw it as an opportunity to do like more shit that I wanted to do, and that was one of them. Like, I didn't even know, like it was just an experimental kind of thing. And I remember putting it up, not really sure like what the response was going to be like, but you know, people were, I was getting good comments, good reviews, getting a lot of messages like, you know, is this shit going to be for sale, kind of thing. And like, yeah, just went from there. So yeah, that was the last lockdown, and like since then, bro, I've sold maybe like off the top of my head, maybe like 30 custom pieces. And yeah, when I
Not
think about
bad,
it,
my G. Not
yeah,
bad.
when I think about it, it wasn't even more so the monetary value that kept me going. Like that was the reason why I started it. But then what kept me going was because I was like fucking having fun, man. And that's where the money just became a bonus. Like I wasn't even worried about how much I would make from it. It was more so the fact that people were interested. And then fast forward to this year, like I got to be a part of my first art exhibition,
I've
bro.
seen that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that was, to me, that was and I didn't really share like how meaningful it was like to my peers and to my partner, but to me that was like one of the most meaningful experiences of my life, especially because, you know, growing up I always wanted to be an artist, and yeah, like I said, I still do, and I felt like that was like a step, my first step through the, you know, through the door kind of thing. Just got getting to taste, because I was straight up like, when I got asked, I was like, they asked me if I wanted to exhibit, and I was just like straight up like, fuck, I didn't even know like what that means. I didn't like, I know what an art exhibition is, but I didn't really know. I was just straight up, bro, because these are like qualified, like, you know, these the people I was doing off, they like went to study like art and shit, and they were qualified, and then bloody here I am like thinking I know, but I don't. But yeah, I was just grateful, bro, to have that opportunity, and it was cool because I know there's a lot of artists out there that think, you know, that you need to go fucking have all these papers and qualifications, which is cool. Like I'm all for the people that go down that route. But for me, it was cool because I got to show, like, I had like younger cousins that came along to the exhibition, and I talked to them, bro. Like, I tell them straight up, like, I tell them like I hated school, I didn't like college, I don't like sitting in a classroom kind of thing. But just to show them that you don't even need to be like, that's not the be all and end all kind of thing. Like, there's other ways of doing it. Like, you just have to work hard kind of thing, and stay consistent. So yeah, that was a mean experience for me, bro, and it was like full circle moment. Just like the fact that I've been grinding and like experimenting in so many different things. And like there's still heaps of stuff that I haven't done yet that I still want to do. Like I'm meant to be I'm meant to be finishing thrifting, bro, and getting into tattooing for my full-time mahi. Like that's my next phase. But like, because I love thrifting so much, I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Anyway, fuck, I'm going all over the place. But yeah, this lockdown, bro, it was all good. It was chill as. I guess, you know, Auckland and Waikato would have had it a bit harder than everyone else. But I learned a lot from the last lockdown. So I always made sure that I was prepared, like stock wise, and all that jazz. Yeah.
Nice, dude. You there was something that you said about how Well, there's two things for me. So the first thing was that when you began doing the art on the denim, it was out of necessity again, bro. And it just shows to me again, like, man, this guy's a resourceful young fella, bro. Like, that's dope to
Yeah,
hear.
bro. I feel like I've always been like that, bro. Like
Yeah, that's dope,
I find
man.
shit and I'll make it work.
Heck yeah. And then you talked to me about the next phase for you going into tattooing. You know, for me, I'm listening to the say that's one thrifting, you got barbering, and now you got even the denim stuff, I would say is a different revenue stream.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna add tattooing. So like there's 4 different revenue streams now that you've got. Like that's pretty impressive, man. Like that's dope, G.
The thing is, bro, like I don't have qualifications in anything.
Mm.
I don't have qualifications in barbering. Obviously, you don't need qualifications to be thrifting, but I don't have any qualifications with business. I don't come from a business-minded family, business background, all that stuff, bro. But I don't know what it is, bro. But I guess just that, again, that hustle mentality.
Mm.
Having, it's weird, bro. Like I always had big dreams as a kid, and I still do, and I think that plays its part as well. Like I feel like I'll never give up on chasing my dreams, kind of thing. Never. And like, bro, I want to be like 60 and still chasing my dreams, kind of thing. So even if I don't do tattooing anytime soon, even if it's when I'm like 50, like I will still be okay with that.
You brought up a real good point about not being qualified. And even that to me is like so I work in education, bro. I've worked in education for the last 10 years, man. And it's always been something that's not sat well with me because I'm same as you. I never went to uni. I don't have any quals per se that I mean I got a few certificates and like diplomas here and there, but
Yeah.
I don't think I really use any of them for what I actually do. But it's hard to like I always think about say our ancestors, right? If we go back to the islands and like in terms of knowledge space and knowledge systems and how we operate and what we're influenced by, you know, there was no time constraint on that, right? Like a good friend of mine talks about like how, you know, how in the education system you do year 9, like in high school, you got year 9 to 13, and you only have 1 year per year, right? And it's like in the indigenous knowledge framework or mindset, or even in the Polynesian kind of knowledge bases, it didn't matter if it took you 1 year or 5 years to learn something. Like that time was the right amount of time for you to learn that. And that's why it's a real hard one to like navigate as Polys and Pacific Islanders, because you know we're on island time. like you know, whether we joke about it or not, but we're on island time even in terms of like how we attain knowledge, how we learn rites of passage. And for me, when I listen to you talk, bro, I don't think you ever needed any qualification, and I don't think you will ever need one. Like one thing that I can hear and see about you is the belief in yourself, and your creativity is just so much potential, man. Like it's unreal, man. So I don't know why I'm just talking right now, but I thought I would just say that to you, right? Like,
thank you, bro. No, I appreciate it, man.
Man, that's amazing, bro.
That's a good point that you raised, bro. Just the fact that everyone learns on different capacities and different like time frames, and like even tying it back to our ancestors. It's so true, bro.
Yeah, like I think about even Maori, like who said there was a qualification to be the kai kōrero on the pai?
Yeah.
Where is that qualification? That doesn't exist. Like it just happened. That person pursued it, learned, sat behind the kaumatus as a young person, and you know, like they put in the time, they put in the work, which is something that I hear you do as well. Like it's a nice little challenge, I suppose, to the normie. Like it's a nice challenge to normal ways of thinking, or like the traditional blueprint, like, right, go to school, get a good qualification, get a good job. Man, that stuff's, it's not relevant anymore. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, cause that's something that I struggled with, bro. Like, being raised by my grandparents, you know, I feel like their mindset was just education is key, you know, to success.
Yeah.
And you know, here I am, no qualifications. Like I think my highest qualification is like NCA level 2.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, bro. And it's like that made me feel a bit less of myself. But thankfully enough, I could see past that. Like I could see past that. I didn't need to please them in that light. I think more so if they saw me being happy and enjoying what I'm doing, that'll make them happy.
Nice. That's dope, man. It's interesting you talk about education and qualifications, because I think those are two separate things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, bro, I learned about the world and geography because of Street Fighter 2. You know, when you select the characters, right? And then the airplane goes to the different country. Like, that's how I learned where Japan was, and that's how I learned where America was. And I think people...
Is it because it interests you, or?
Bro, and that's it. Like, people say like formal education is the way to go, because the qualifications they offer you are basically a standardized set, like, rules of, if this person is competent in these things, then they can be qualified. But the problem with that is that there's a cap on that. And for people like the bro Knox, your creativity is like here, and this is what they only want you to learn. So it doesn't, your qualification is here, but your education is here.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't match. And what you've done,
and like, I can vouch for that because I dropped out of school my last year, and then I went to continue studies, tertiary studies, just at the local polytech. So I enrolled, because you're meant to do like a level 3 bridging course to go into the diploma.
Yeah.
But bro, I was like, nah, fuck the bridging course. I'm going straight to the bloody diploma because I don't want to be spending an extra year.
Yeah.
So anyway, I enrolled. I sent in my portfolio, bro, and they accepted me. I was the only one straight out of school, and I got there. I was still like in a college mindset, like used to seeing my boys, used to kicking it at lunchtime, playing held on the concrete kind of thing. And like to go from there to you know, a tertiary setting where it's like, because I went to an all boys school, so it was a mix, you know, boys and girls, different ages, different kind of people, and it's specifically creatives. Fuck, that was so, I feel like it threw me off, like wanting to pursue art. I felt uncomfortable. And then like, I only lasted like 3 weeks, bro, and I left. Because like the shit that I was learning, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And it wasn't what I wanted to do. I couldn't do it. And so I left, bro. And that's when I started working. I was like, oh, fuck. I was living with my nana and I wasn't making any income. I had to help out. So that was me. For like 3 years. So yeah, like I can vouch for that, bro. Like it's not for everyone, eh?
Yeah. I think the lessons that you've learned just in your experience in thrifting and barbering and art in itself, man, like that's probably more valuable than what you may have learned in those few years getting a formal education.
For sure.
And look, you still got an exhibition, man.
Bro. Like I still, like that's what I mean. It was a full circle moment for me, bro. Like I took the kind of long way, I guess, but it's still, I still made it happen. And I feel like there's definitely a bit of momentum as well. I got like that night at the exhibition, I got to connect with
Nice.
other people, other artists, and other people that are in that space. Because I was just like buzzing, bro. I was like, fuck, this is mean. This is like exactly what I had envisioned for myself.
Yep.
Just that feeling, and like, to be able to soak it in and share space with other creatives. In that sense, I got to do it on my own terms, and that's why I felt happy.
Nice. That's dope. What a great place to be in too. To feel that as well. That's me, my G. Usually before we wrap, because we've been talking for a while now. Usually before we wrap, it up, there's like 3 questions that I ask the guests, and then I usually let them have the last word. Yep. So the first question is of the 3 is movies that influenced you, or movies that you would recommend people to watch. Even a memory from watching that movie, whatever that might be.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. My go-to movie will always be Friday.
Can you quote
I can watch that shit every day, bro. My missus hates it too. That's the funny thing. Like, she will never watch it with me, but I always watching Friday. All the Fridays, but yeah. I don't know what it is, bro. It's just, you can't beat a classic black comedy, bro.
Yeah.
And like the fact that Ice Cube got Chris Tucker, I don't know, just their characters. Like, I always like look up to them in a way, bro. Like, fucking, those are the kind of dudes that I want to hang out with.
Everyone wanted to be Craig.
Everyone wanted to be Craig, and fucking everyone wanted to, be as funny as Bloody Smokey.
Man, that's probably one of the most all-time characters, would you say, like even in cinematic history, bro?
Yep,
Smokey.
Definitely, bro. Hella underrated. Like, I consider it underrated, bro.
Big time. Do you remember the movie poster for Friday?
Yep.
And like, I think Cube's sitting.
He's wearing like a I think it's a baseball or football jersey. Or is he wearing the plaid shirt?
He's wearing the plaid shirt. Yeah, I think he's got plaid shirt. I want to see black jeans. And then what shoes does he have on? They're like black. I think they're black shoes with the white sock, but I can't remember what type of shoes they were.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna research this after. Try and cop me some of these shoes. See, that was your movies, Friday. So the whole Friday kind of like franchise. That's dope.
Bro, like just knowing everything line by line, that's when you know it's your movie.
I bet you like Don't Be a Menace to South Central too.
Yeah, bro.
You like that one?
Like just that whole era of
like the Wayans brothers are quite funny too. They made some good movies. Yeah.
I think I just liked the whole black community, like acting community then.
Yep.
It was so like
Bernie Mac was on there.
Yeah, bro. Just so like, bro, so talented, man. And it was natural talent. And like going back to like not comparing, but like that's how I see us Pacific Islanders, man. Just natural talent, bro. And like even being in front of a camera, natural. It's all natural, bro.
Yep, that's dope. The next one kind of ties into the movies, bro, and it's cool that you brought up Ice Cube. So the next one is music that influenced you. And you can go as deep as you want, or however you want to go. And sometimes I've been surprised by people's music choices as well. Like you would think, he's probably, and then next minute, whoa, left field. So music, bro, music influences for you.
Music, pretty easy, bro. Like just growing up on, like me myself, I was always drawn to the whole hip hop rap culture, like a lot of us. And then like having influences from my parents. So like my dad was heavy into hip hop rap. My mum was like just your typical island music, and then at the same time drawing my culture into it, uh, just bro. Like if I was to look at my Spotify playlist, it will be a whole lot of different shit in one playlist. Like it'll be dominated by like the hip hop rap, but then like I'll have bloody like random like stuff that you hear on the breeze, like songs like that in there as well, bro. But yeah, music wise, I'll always be drawn to just the whole hip hop and rap culture, bro.
Nice. You got a preference in terms of like rap or hip hop, or you just like all of them? Yeah. Because some people are like hardcore West Coast, some people are like New York shit, some people like down south. Like, are you kind of drawn to all of it? Because I kind of tend to like all of it.
I think so, bro. Like I haven't. There'll be phases where I'll like.
True.
There'll be phases where I'm like heavy on like, like West Coast or like, the whole G-Funk kind of vibe. I don't know. I feel like it's real mood dependent. Like if you're on that good mood, you'll want those good vibes. Like,
you want that gym playlist there, you get hyped.
You got that gym playlist. I don't know. That's just me, bro. That's how I view music. It's all like dependent on how I'm feeling.
Nice.
Bro. I like all sorts.
Dude. The last one, bro, is gonna go to kai or food, and usually there's two kind of options you have. You can go the whole, if you're gonna go out to town or go out for dinner, where's that spot? And then the other one is like a home cooked meal that you must have or is your go-to.
Oh man, I think since I've been on that diving buzz, bro, nothing beats a fresh crayfish, man. Bro, straight up, actually everything, man. Kinners, fuck. I think, bro, I would honestly take seafood over, my favorite restaurant at the moment. Like, I probably wouldn't have said that, like, a year ago, but yeah, as of now, bro, it's just any seafood. Fuck. That's me, bro.
I'm a scallops guy, eh?
Ooh.
If I go to any fish and chip shop, I always like, what's your scallops like? Can I get some scallops? Yeah. We're quite spoiled though for where we are in Kauru, because I'm close to the coast.
Yeah.
And so like I can go up to Opotiki, I can go up to Te Kaha, all the way up the east coast, bro. Guarantee it's gonna be some mean kaimon up there. That's dope. And then the last thing, bro, is just I like to let the guests have the last word, and it can be anything. Like I know it's a bit of pressure, like people think, you got to be inspiring or whatever, but it doesn't have to be. Like, could just be a message to the community, could just be something you want to let people know or share. Yeah, it can be anything, bro. So the last word is yours, my man.
Sweet. I think if anything, bro, just to give a big thank you to the also Jordan for having me on tonight. When he reached out, when you reached out to me, to be to have a chat, I was like 50-50 because not so much that I didn't want to. It was just like how we spoke about like me being busy and stuff. And I was like, but I'm all about supporting, our community, especially our Pacific Island community. And like, before we started the podcast, we touched on like how underrepresented we are as Polynesians in the thrifting community. So I was like happy to jump on tonight and just share my story, because I feel like it's important, and I'm sure there's other thrifters out there. Well, it doesn't even have to be thrifters, but I'm sure there's other people out there, whatever they're doing, that kind of yeah, just needed maybe a little extra push to, I don't know, overcome whatever it is that's stopping you from you being great. So yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, grateful as, bro. Thank you.
Brazil, 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 Brazil.